morning we are here to receive our official invites, and our group went 5 years ago, and it was probably the best experience that I have ever had as a person, and I'm sure for the students I had back then, they all wanted to come back and go again. It was an awesome experience for us to go. It's not only just our performance, but just the way the whole program is worked out for the tours that we're taking, and everything about this. It's not like any other festival type thing you could go. You know, in the United States, it's always big to go to Disney World and Six Flags and things like this. But this is an experience 100 times better than that. And it's a great experience for our students. I'm pleased to have so many of you here this morning to join in this invitation with us. And I would like to now turn over the mic for a moment to Mr. Bobby Surrey, who is, of course, our principal. He would like to welcome and just have say a few words. And Mr. Surrey has been here for how many years? 9. So I've got him beat by 6, but that's okay. It's been a great run. So, Mr. Robert Surrey, principal of Menchville High School.
Good morning, everyone. It is certainly my pleasure to welcome and have the opportunity to have this exciting time that's getting ready to happen. 5 years ago, I was here and I saw the excitement of those students as they were preparing, saving money. Parents were involved in helping. Our city was involved in supporting what was going on. And it is my privilege and pleasure to still be here so that when our kids come back from London in 2014, I'll get to see the same enthusiasm and smiles and great opportunities that they're going to explore. One of the unique things is simply that the arts are the places in our world where we can put things aside. Yes, we may have differences in opinions, but we may look at a piece of art or hear a song that we really like, but the true testament is that those who create those masterpieces are those who have the opportunity to play the music that someone else has created. It leaves a trace in your own self. And what happens with those traces is that they come together and culminate in opportunities for us to grow as individuals and to grow together so that we can collaborate, so that we can make things happen in our country. I am so excited about having the opportunity to have the Lord Mayor here with us today and Mr. Boone, who is the director of the London's New Year's Day Parade. What we have and what they have created is an opportunity for students and adults to come together, to put aside their differences, and to make a country a place where excitement can go on. Now, of course, it's kind of interesting that the Lord Mayor and Mr. Boone have come to Virginia on the day that the President is also coming to Newport News because, well, and I guess it's interesting because they've just had the big celebration for the Queen. They've just had the Olympics, and they have had all kinds of other great things going on in London. So I guess it's fitting that the President has to be in Newport News on the same day that they're here. But with all of that aside, we are so appreciative of the fact to have an opportunity. Our superintendent believes in making our students college, career, and citizen ready. And what I see happening in London is that we are working hard to help our students to become college, career, and citizen ready, but you are giving them the opportunity to put all of that together and share in a very joyous, momentous occasion that's going to bring the world together. Because I know when I look at London and hear about London, all of the great things that happen, it's exciting, and I am fortunate to be here. Hopefully one day they'll ask me to go on this trip there, Ms. Sarday. I would like to take just a few minutes to introduce some of our guests that are here. First, I would like to our city manager here in Newport News, also a former teacher here at Menchville High School, a good friend, and I have to say Mr. Neil Morgan has done a fantastic job as our city manager, and we want to welcome you back to Menchville. Both of his children graduated from Menchville, so he knows that we're a great place to be. I also want to recognize from our school board, we have in the audience Mrs. D. Johnston. She's a member of, I think, we're, 12 years plus now? Almost 12 years? 14 years on the school board. She has served as the chair 2 of those times and is a huge supporter of not only the arts, but also of the fact that she had children that went to Menchville High School as well. And in the audience, we also have our PTSA president, and Miss Becky Waltz. Becky and I have worked together many years. She has been the PTSA president at Gildersleeve, where I formerly was, and then she came here and has worked tirelessly to make this a great place. So we're excited about those opportunities. We also have in the audience Mrs. Pat Franklin, who is the supervisor for art and music. So Ms. Franklin, if you could wave, let's see, I know she's out there. Oh, she's in the back, okay, in the very back. So Mrs. Franklin, of course, is a monumental supporter of the arts and has a great deal of belief in what goes on in our schools and also in our communities. So we're very happy to have her here. We also know that our superintendent has a budget meeting today and was not able to be here because it's that time of year where she has to present to the board. So she's making those preparations to be there, but certainly sends her regrets in not being able to be here and wanting to send also the welcome to Newport News Public Schools. So we wanted to let you know. I have, again, the great opportunity to be the principal of this phenomenal high school. Without our parents and our supporters, we would have absolutely nothing. So I would like to thank the parents who were able to take off work. It is a huge, huge commitment on their part because we're in times in our country of economic strife, and we are working hard. So we know that as parents are working to fundraise, and we have the parents who are just being supportive, and I see them here at all of the concerts and many, many of the fundraisers and all of the other things that are going on. So I want to say a huge thank you to all of the folks who are very involved, and it's so important and so meaningful. And I know and believe truly that as you work with your children to give them these opportunities, that you are giving them something that will be those lifelong memories and gives them the desire to be the best citizens that they can be. And in our world now, we become world citizens. And I want to thank London for allowing that to happen. So, Counselor, Mrs. Angela Harvey, we want to say thank you, and to our Executive Director of the London Day Parade, Mr. Robert Boone, thank you on behalf of Menchville High School for joining us today.
outfitted the all-city band and then the all-district band, and then 5 students for auditioning for all-Virginia band as well. And now our invitation to London. So it's been an incredible year, and it just keeps getting better. At this time, I'm going to introduce Mr. Robert Bone, who is the Executive Director of the London New Year's Day Parade and Festival. I'll tell you just a little short story. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but when we came over, the last time we went, the directors go over in June to set up everything and all the tours, and meetings were running late that day. And we were going to get a taxi, and we came out, and his wife was saying, "Oh no, Bob's bringing the car, just get in the car." Well, he has this sweet Jaguar. And being a car aficionado, I was drooling to begin with. But he let us jump in the back seat and took off with us and got us to the next meeting, which was pretty awesome, and one of those things you just don't forget. So we do, Sue and I do appreciate that ride. That was very nice. But Mr. Bone is here, and he's going to come and talk to you just a bit. And this is Mr. Robert Bone.
Oh dear, sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I want to congratulate the band. Not only do you look spectacular, you really do, your uniforms are terrific, aren't they? But you managed to play our anthem, which ain't the best, very well, and it just made me think, I really do wish we had a tune as good as your tune, but anyway, did they? And The Incredibles was incredible, so well done, thank you very much indeed. Now, I've got this grand title, Executive Director of London's New Year's Day Parade. What it really means is that I have the great good fortune of overseeing a huge team of people on New Year's Day in London who make our event happen. I don't actually do very much at all, so you shouldn't really pay too much attention to me. But what I can do is tell you a few things about the event. I'm going to make a claim now, sounds a bit like a boast, and then I'm going to try and justify. Oh, before I carry on, I do need to explain that I'm speaking to you in English, and I don't have an accent. You tend to have the accents. Anyway, I'm going to now say that London's New Year's Day Parade is the greatest event in the greatest city in the world. Well, no booze, so that's good. I'm now going to justify why we call it the greatest event. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the London International Choral Festival as well, because that's turning into a pretty jolly good event as well. And then I'm going to give the job of justifying the greatest city in the world, part of the claim, to the Lord Mayor of the City of Westminster, who is much better placed than me to make such justification and comment. So, parade first, or event first. How many participants do we have? Well, we have about 8,500 people in London's New Year's Day Parade taking part every year, entertaining the people of our city and people all around the world. 8,500 people, let's put that in context. There's a little event in New York City every Thanksgiving Day. I think it's called Macy's Thanksgiving Day. And they think they're pretty big. Well, they are. They're very good. They fit New York City, everything's got to be big. But they only have 4,500 people in their event. So London, for once, has something almost twice as big as they have in New York. That makes us feel good about ourselves. Then it goes downhill a little bit. We only have a street audience on January the 1st of about 620, 630,000 people. So nearly 2/3 of a million people come out onto the streets of the city of Westminster. More about Westminster in a minute. Come out onto the streets of the city of Westminster to see the parade on New Year's Day. Now, I have to tell you that the weather in London on New Year's Day, it's not scorching hot sunshine, to be honest. Tends not to be very wet, It was beautiful. There we are. It was beautiful weather. But anyway, it is quite a feat and a tribute to the entertainment that's on offer that those 2/3 people here stand on the streets of the city of Westminster enjoying the entertainment of the parade for the best part of 3¾ hours, and they don't move. And that's because they like you so much. Every year we get the reports back from the people who are doing the audience surveys on the ground. What's your favourite thing in the parade? Oh, it's the American marching bands. They also like the cheerleaders, I have to say. The American marching bands always come out as amongst the most popular things, their favourite things in the parade. So it's a big thank you to you, your predecessors, for helping to make our event the great event that it is today. Street audience of nearly 2/3 but it's our worldwide television audience that really impresses with the figures. This year, the best part of 300 million people watched the London New Year's Day Parade around the world as it was broadcast by 560, I think it was, 570 different television stations. And they really are all around the world now. We are seen in the Australias, we're seen right throughout the Far East, including China. That gives us a good start on a decent audience, actually. Right through the Middle East, obviously throughout Europe, extensively in the United States of America. And I do hope that you'll be able to watch your band in London next year, on January the 1st, in your own home here, or we'd prefer it if you came and watched them in London, but you know, you can watch them on TV here. Right through South America, and literally everywhere in the world, London's New Year's Day Parade is seen on TV. So you will all be big stars somewhere for a microsecond, maybe even a nanosecond. But anyway, you will be on TV, you will be seen. The Choral Festival. That is something that we started just 7 years ago now, because people were beginning to say to us, look, it's great for bands, it's marvellous that they have something to do on the street and the parade, but we can't. We want to come to London, we want to bring our music, we want to do something. And take part in the festivities throughout the week in London over New Year, and so we created the London International Choral Festival, which has now become established as a very, very firm favourite in London's musical cultural calendar. And the finale concert, which next year is going to be at Westminster Cathedral in the city of Westminster, strangely enough, promises to be an absolutely magnificent opportunity for people, young people, singers from Britain and the Americas, and indeed some from Europe as well, to make music together in a phenomenal setting and accompanied by the most accomplished young orchestra, the Young Musician Symphony Orchestra, which is really quite superb. So that has become a wonderful event as well. But as your principal, Mrs. Surrey, was saying, and Mrs. Sark was saying, the most important thing really is the fact that you're going to come to London. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm saying that you're going to get an invitation and I can't give it to you. It's got to be somebody else. We'll get there. Sorry. Let's assume that you're going to come to London. That you're going to get an invitation. Let's just make that assumption. And the most important thing is that you're going to come and enjoy a week living with us, immersing yourself in our culture, in our history, in what will be, for all of you, I promise this, a truly life-changing experience, something that you cannot possibly get any other way than taking part in a major event in a city like London, and at the same time enjoying all that our city has to offer. It really will make a huge difference to you, I promise you that. So, I was rambling a moment ago and saying that I can't give you an invitation. I can't, I really can't. The only person in this room who is able to render an invitation to anybody to come and participate in London's New Year's Day Parade or the London International Choral Festival is the Lord Mayor of the City of Westminster. Very lucky to have her with us today. Who is the host patron of the parade and of the choral festival. So, here's a tip, if you like. When I ask the Lord Mayor to come to the podium in just a moment, if you give her an incredible, rousing round of applause, she is going to look much more favourably, shall we say, about presenting you with the invitation to come to London at the end of the year. So, let me introduce to you the Right Worshipful, the Lord Mayor of the City of Westminster, Councillor Angela Harvey.
Good morning, everybody. It's such a privilege and pleasure to be here this morning and to hear what your principal and your music director had to say about your school and your band and the choir. Because London is very, very open to people from around the globe coming to enjoy meeting one another and showing just how great they are. As the first citizen of Westminster, I have many privileges, and truly, this is one of the special parts of the Lord Mayor's year, to come to the United States to invite bands of such wonderful caliber as I've heard today, to come and join us in London in January on New Year's Day 2014. But I want to tell you a few things about Westminster first of all. And as we're here in the state of Virginia, I want to tell you about the very special connection between Virginia and the city of Westminster. Because as you know, the state has its name from the first Queen Elizabeth, who was known as the Virgin Queen. And she lies buried in great state in Westminster Abbey, which you may describe as the Lord Mayor's parish church. You may have also been aware that that's the very same building in which a certain wedding took place 2 years ago between, as we say, Kate and William. And the state of Virginia, therefore, sprang in many respects from the city of Westminster. Now we're only 8.5 square miles, and the state of Virginia, I think, is a little bit larger than that. But within Westminster, the world comes to us and we welcome the world. And it's very much at the creative heart of much. I spent a lot of last week at the London Fashion Show, which is a wonderful springboard for many of our great students and postgraduates from the creative colleges that we have within Westminster. And so we also, in addition to the traditional, we have the very modern, with many other of the creative industries working very hard. And they also welcome people from across the world to work with them. Because as Mrs. Sabri said, that the creative, and as your principal said, that the creative talent is so great, and it's about sharing what we have that can come from anywhere. It's not about difference and division, it's about bringing us together. Within Westminster, we have the home of the monarchy, and I've been privileged to meet Her Majesty on a number of occasions, and other members of the royal family too. We're also the home of the government, and on our Remembrance Day, sitting in the box at the Royal Albert Hall to commemorate those who have fallen, alongside the Prime Minister of our country, is very much part of the privilege of being the Lord Mayor of Westminster. It's also the home of the armed forces. And I also want to find another connection between us because, of course, you have a nuclear submarine named after this great town. And we have our own frigate called HMS Westminster. Last year was out on patrol, just to give you an example, in the Indian Ocean chasing down those Somali pirates and doing work on drug running too. So the fact that I'm here today from one city with a naval connection to your naval strength here is very, very important to me as well. The great thing about the parade is how many people come onto the streets from all across the world. Lots of Londoners, lots of people from throughout the United Kingdom, and also further afield. And I want to warmly extend an invitation. I have some invitations here. First of all, to the Menchville High School Marching Monarchs of Virginia, USA, to participate in the 28th Annual New Year's Day Parade and Festival, to be held in London, England, between December the 27th, 2013, and the January the 4th of 2014. And I would like to ask your principal and your band director, please, to accept this invitation from me. Will you please join me in applauding? I also have an invitation in recognition of an unparalleled reputation for outstanding performance abilities. The patrons of the organising committee of the London International Choral Festival, in association with Youth Music of the World, City of Westminster, the Lieutenancy of Greater London, and the London Mayors Association, I take great pleasure in extending an invitation to the Menchville High School Choir, Virginia, USA, to participate in the 7th Annual London International Choral Festival, to be held in London, England, between December the 27th of 2013 and January the 4th, 2014. Please, and I would like to invite members of the choir to come forward to receive this invitation from me. Thank you. Please join me in applauding.
The Lord Mayor has obviously responded to her welcome. I give you the invitation, but you know, I haven't heard anybody say you're accepting it yet. Do you? Oh, good. Thanks for that. Now we'll carry on. This is today an official visit from the City of Westminster by the Lord Mayor, City of Westminster, who is the first citizen of Westminster, to your school, Menchville High School. And to mark that visit, the Lord Mayor would like to present the principal, Surrey, with the coat of arms of the City of Westminster on this rather lovely hand-painted shield to commemorate her visit here today. We very much appreciate your being in attendance with us this morning, Mr. Morgan, and we would like to present you, or Lord Mayor would like to present you, with a pair of rather splendid City of Westminster cufflinks. One assumes you know. For Miss Harvey, and I do promise that you will have another ride in a Jaguar. It's a different car now, I'm sorry to say. It's one of those modern ones which don't really look much like Jaguars, but never mind, they drive. May we present you please, with a paperweight from the City of Westminster and the new pin from the City of Westminster, which the Lord Mayor is just about. Now then, we would like to give something to everybody in the band, and we can't do that. So how many drum majors do we have? Where might they be? Come and receive from the Lord Mayor a pin of the City of Westminster. And these are very nice, incidentally. I'm really quite envious that you're getting these. Let me just show it to you. Can you see it? Really rather splendid. Anyway, there we are. So there we are. Now, I have one final thing to say, and I get very confused about all this stuff. There is a thing now, I am told, called Facebook. I'm old, I don't understand. And there's another thing called Twitter, right? We have, at the London Parade, joined the social media network, whatever you call it, generation. And we changed our name a little bit last year to sort of make it social network friendly. And instead of London's New Year's Day Parade, we are LNYDP. LNYDP. Anyway, what my staff in London have asked me to say to you, now as I don't understand any of it, is would you please become friends of ours on Facebook? I think you have to go onto us and like us. It's incredibly presumptuous of us. You don't know us. Would you please go on to Facebook and do whatever you do and like us? And join our follow us on Twitter or something like that, whatever you have to do. LNYDP anyway, that's the thing that you have to do. And do please, because it'll be really good as we get into the year building up to our events next year. You'll be able to talk to the other people who are involved and really get completely immersed in London's New Year's Day Parade. See, I can't bear to call it LNYDP. So anyway, now our job is to go back to London and prepare for the invasion from Newport News of Menchville High School band and choir at the end of the year. And our job, seriously, is to create for you a programme, a week in London that you will remember for the rest of your lives. And I promise you we're going to do that. Thank you very much indeed for having us.
On behalf of the Menchville Marching Monarchs and the choir, we are extraordinarily excited and honored to have this opportunity to travel to London in the coming year. We are also appreciative that you, the Lord Mayor of Westminster, and Mr. Bones have traveled all the way to our school in Menchville to grant us this invitation, and we hope to meet you again when we are in London. We would also like to thank the parents and the teachers who took time out of their busy schedules to be with us here today. You may join us in the library for a brief reception following the conclusion of this program. Thank you so much again for being here. Have a wonderful day.
we will now recess to the library for the short reception. Grace and Cadre, come forward, please.